Hey guys, Barrett here at Soundpure today. I thought we'd do a little comparison. I get a lot of questions when I bring up the phrase traditional versus modern build. There's so many words I can use to describe the differences between something like this very traditionally styled Martin. It's a pretty recent guitar it's used, but still a very traditionally styled Martin. Difference between this guitar, all mahogany, classic bracing, versus this Goodall, much more modern design. Even though for them it's a traditional guitar, it's still a very modern instrument in the way that the neck feels, the bracing is. The tone woods used here being German, Spruce, and Macassar Ebony, not something that's a classic Martin, tone wood combination. So there's something new going on here. And I thought today to further bring out that contrast between more traditional and more modern, we do a little comparison between two of kind of the most moderate body styles out there, the OOO. And so we're going to run through, I'll try to play the same thing for both so you can hopefully hear some differences, talk a little bit about some of the things I think you can expect to hear. Direct, warm, very pretty dry, especially compared to this thing. And just a really classic sound. We get much more three-dimensional in tone when you go with Goodall, and particularly with this set of tone woods. German Spruce and Macassar Ebony are really going to bring out a lot of an overtone content, a lot of rich sustain and natural reverb. I mean, it starts to sound like the guitar is producing effects of its own. A really wonderful thing to hear, and something very different from the Martin. It's kind of an apples and oranges thing. So it's probably the last question people ask me is which is better. It all depends on what you're doing. I think I like country blues a lot, as you may be able to tell from some of my videos. I would probably go with this one. If you're doing other styles, or if you're doing that and some other styles, the Goodall is capable of jazz, classical, fusion, any kind of alternate tuning sort of things you might be working on. This kind of a modern instrument really will open some doors for you in that way. Not to say this is limited, but this is pushing the boundaries a little bit on what a guitar can do. So, without further ado, let's get down to a comparison between the two. This is the Martin OOO 15 SM and the Goodall TE OOO. Let's take a look. So there we have it. I hope that comparison was edifying for you all out there. If you have any questions, of course, on the particulars of the specs on either of these guitars, on more conversation about traditional versus modern, because there are many other ways to make that contrast happen, I'm happy to go in depth in terms of my knowledge on both Martin, Gibson, the other old style makers, and then in depth on Goodall and Santa Cruz and Bourgeois and some of these other makers. Every maker these days is taking a little bit, to some extent more, from the traditional builders, but they're always injecting their own personality. It's probably the best part about these instruments. You can really hear unique, idiosyncratic approaches to luthiery, and it's a big part of why I love working here, and I'm happy to talk about it. So to go in depth on that or anything else I can help you with, give us a call here at SoundPure. Once again, this is Barrett. Have a great day.